Did you know that the Yukon electric grid is completely isolated from the rest of the gigantic North American grid? But this might change.
The North Coast transmission line will enable transformative industrial projects, including silicium, LNG, as well as multiple critical minerals developments in the Golden Triangle.
Ottawa's Major Projects Office is currently reviewing an ambitious mega project, the North Coast Transmission Line in Northwest BC. That's a plan to twin transmission lines, and that could include a connection between the Yukon and the national power grid. So basically, just imagine trying to connect the BC grid all the way here with the longest extension cord, a very high voltage one. That would be pretty convenient if that was that easy. But the project is a bit more complicated than that and very expensive, with a price tag of about $4 billion. But what's the purpose of this project? According to a report from the Yukon government, there would be major benefits. The project is currently being sold as a way to stabilize and increase the territory's grid capacity, especially in the winter during peak demand when it's -50. The transmission line would also cut off communities' reliance on diesel. There's really no doubt that the Yukon needs more energy. The territory's population is growing fast. There's more and more homes to light up, more infrastructure to heat up. The report also talks about increasing energy security as a way to strengthen the national defense in the Arctic. And one way to do that is through critical mineral development. But there's one former engineer that thinks that list of benefits, well, it's a unicorn.
When we're looking at these kinds of projects, we look at them realistically, call a spade, and try not to sort of greenwash or put the wool over people's eyes. And I feel that this shared grid, shared benefits report is really an over-the-top sales job for getting federal support for this project. The justification is not in serving of Yukon communities and the present electrical load requirements. Its justification can probably only rest in serving mining industry.
By serving mining industry, Mason mostly means the proposed Casino mine. It has been dubbed as the largest potential mine in the Yukon. The report states that mine would require more than double what the territory's current grid can supply. The company developing the mine is already playing the green card, saying that being connected to BC grid would be preferable because otherwise it would have to rely on diesel. Mason is not the only one who doubts connecting BC and Yukon electric grids is a fix-all solution.
We still need to be able to rely on being self-supported because transmission lines do go down.
So what Babcock is saying is that even with a transmission line to the south, the territory would still be at risk if the weather conspired to topple those lines. The transmission line may one day bolster the Yukon's power grid, but not anytime soon. If Ottawa approves the project, experts believe that it would still take at least a decade for it to be operational. And that's a bit alarming because Yukon Energy expects peak demands to increase significantly, around 90% by 2035 compared to 2020 levels. The utility is planning on building new diesel and LGN-run power centers to help with that, but that's also going to take a while. Bottom line, after several weeks of sustained cold and rising demand that showed how vulnerable our grid is, the territory is left managing increasing strain with no major relief on the horizon. Virginie Ann, CBC News, Whitehorse.